All right, everybody, welcome to another edition of What's What BR. Today we have Mr. Larry Williams with us today. Larry, how's it going, man?
And good morning. How you doing, Brandon? Everything's going good, my end. And with yourself?
I'm keeping up, man. It's crazy times we're in, and we're running, fast as we can in the business world. All of us. I was told it's lonely at the top, before,
Oh,
kind of
it
when you run
is.
your own business. So I appreciate you taking a little time to talk with us today and kind of tell everybody kind of what's going on. You own OxyFresh, I'm sorry, which is traditionally like on your shirt carpet cleaning, but obviously we're gonna get into a little bit more than just the carpet cleaning side of things. But tell me, what made you jump into this? How did you find this?
Yeah, actually, man, I, of course, I didn't grow up thinking that, hey, guess what, we'll be cleaning carpets or anything of that nature. I was looking for a supplemental business or income to go along with. At the time, I was working as a general manager for a local company in the Baton Rouge area. And again, just looking for other ways to provide for my family and help the community at the same time. And I kind of stumbled onto Oxyfresh. It's a national franchise. I took a tour, which is out of Denver, Colorado. So I went there and visit, man, and I saw the facilities. I met some awesome and great people, and right then and there, I was like, man, this is for me. It's the focus wasn't just about carpet cleaning; it was about building relationships, and it was more about people, and that's pretty much that's the strength of mine. So I wanted to be part of something that kind of put that first, put people first. So yeah, that's how I got involved with carpet cleaning.
And you say carpet cleaning. This isn't regular carpet cleaning. We talked a little bit before we kind of jumped on, the show here and
Uh-huh.
disclosure. We've had some lunch, before, but kind of walk me through some of that because there's traditional carpet cleaning and then there's what you guys are doing. Two completely different worlds.
Two different worlds. We use what they call an encapsulation process. How that differs from traditional steam cleaning process. We don't have big machines or big hoses. The noise level is a lot less, and we use about 92 to 93% less water. So what that means to the customer is dry times on your carpet. So once we're coming in and we're cleaning your carpets are actually dry within 1 hour. So no keeping the windows open, no turning the fans on, nothing of that nature. And actually, you can immediately um, walk on the carpet after we're cleaning it. Um,
So
and
no
we take
more adult version of the floor is lava, and kind of
that.
hopping, from
Yeah.
one room for, 2 days waiting for the carpet to dry.
Yes, yes. So how we do that process, really the product does most of the work. We have a high RPM a machine that moves at a high rate that picks up and goes down to the carpet pads and get all that dirt, grime, and bad yucky stuff out of your carpets that really visually you can't see. But once we're done with the cleaning part of our process, we show you all of the things that came out of your carpets or your sofa or love seat. And most of the time, people are surprised. Um, so yeah, it's something. If you've experienced traditional carpet cleaning before, most of the time once we come in and folks hadn't heard about us and kind of new to the process, they're kind of amazed. But once they see it once, most folks are actually, we have a lot of repeat customers, a lot of referral business. Yeah, it's something that's different.
That's, I think we all learned kind of down South Louisiana with, the flood, years back that we're all just a bunch of dirty people,
Yeah,
when we really get
really.
down to, if anybody pulled their carpet back, back then and started looking and was having to haul all that out, but one of the things is we're talking a lot about carpet, at the same time, you guys got a whole product line from a tile, from a grout, to where you touched upholstery and that type of stuff there. But on that type of thing, you guys are cleaning across the board,
Yeah, we
right?
do. Yeah, and We also added disinfectant services, which is pretty much a high priority for a lot of commercial businesses and also residential as well, where we go in and use a hospital grade disinfecting and sanitizing process. We use a fogging machine that actually catch every inch of your business or every inch of your home, and it kills 99.99% of odor causing bacteria, viruses, including COVID-19, in which,
Okay.
we come pretty much and fog your whole home. At no point, none of this stuff is actually harmful to pets, kids, or humans. So it's a process that's actually the last, I would say, several weeks to several months actually, that's been very, very, very busy. So yeah, we do disinfecting, sanitizing. We do tile and grout, upholstery, and carpet. So pretty much we kind of touch every part of cleaning within the home. So that keeps us really busy.
So back on that fogging real quick, is that something to where, if I wanted you to come in and, fog our office or fog the house, do we have to, sheets and blanket, cover a whole bunch of stuff and,
Yeah,
kind of move it away or?
that's a good question. So when we come in there and fog it, it's really we use the word fogging, but it's more like a light mist. We come in there, hit every inch of your home or business, and we also get the touch points within your home. So doorknobs, light fixtures, handles on cabinets. We spray those down, but we take it a step further. Any residue that may be left, we actually wipe it down so it's all clean. And any residue that's actually left, if or any at all, is not harmful at all. So you don't have to, put sheets or cover everything up, nothing of that nature. It's just pretty much once we're done and wipe everything down, to the eye, visually, you won't know anything, but that product is actually touching all of those things and disinfecting and sanitizing pretty much your whole home.
So pretty much call you and just get out of the way.
Call me, get out of the way. It's a real, actually fairly quick process. Average home, we can be done in about maybe 45 minutes or less, because that's a process depending on the size of the home or business. We're coming with maybe two, sometimes maybe three guys. But yeah, call us, get out the way, and let us get to work for you.
Awesome. Well, that's a perfect segue. I was going to ask, kind of talking, saying getting to work. How is it? How are you seeing things, in the community, or obviously disinfectant's a big, topic right now, but I know you've got, you do this and a couple other, you've got some other, projects and companies, in general, how do you feel the pulse of, kind of the Baton Rouge business community? You think it's kind of, you feel it kind of moving back, or is it, not as many lunches, as there was before?
And I can say, and in talking to you and talking with other business owners within the Baton Rouge market, man, I can say, business standpoint, I've noticed some businesses have just kind of skyrocketed, and some businesses have been kind of flat. Of course, we're not doing as many lunches and meeting and building relationships, but a lot of Zoom meetings, virtual tours of offices for us to give them quotes. I would say prior to COVID-19, we did maybe one virtual tour to give someone a quote on office building. Now I've probably done maybe about 15, maybe 20 virtual tours. So it's kind of one of them things for some businesses, just like with anything else. If you want to survive and you want to thrive, you have to be able to adapt and
That's
kind of roll with the punches, man. And just like with anything that's tragic, sometimes new ideas, we tap into potential that we probably didn't know we had, or that we have to probably develop. And so that's just like anything else. I try to look at those times and look at the opportunities that are out there and try to go from there. So
I had a friend of mine. he was talking about, people were talking about, adapting and doing different things. He lives over in South Carolina, but he had sent me the email that it was like when everything was shut down, like they couldn't open the retail stores. He got an email from a grill store, like grill and barbecue, and if you think
Yeah.
about it, it's like, well, man, how are they going to use technology? And, really hard for them. They had sent an email out saying that, that they were adapting and they were FaceTime shoppers. They had FaceTime
Yeah.
personal shoppers. And he goes, I didn't even need anything, but he goes, it was just intriguing. So I called him up and was like, hey, how does this FaceTime thing work? And all of their staff that worked was just hanging out, in the store. They'd give you, their staff's personal cell phone number, and you'd FaceTime with them. And the staff, would just walk around holding the camera, and showing them the different things they had in the store. And they go, oh, I'll take one of those. And, I need that. And people would drive up and, they'd bring it out to him. He's like, I ended up spending $300 since I was trying to see, what it was. He's like, I didn't even plan to buy anything, so. But I think you hear companies talk about, their Zoom and, the telepresence, and, all these different, it's like, we've all had FaceTime for years.
Yes.
If you can adapt and, that way, like you're talking about, hey, we can't come to your office, we'll do a virtual. You don't have Zoom, we'll get on FaceTime. It's use the technologies that's there and just don't say, oh, I'm stuck, there's nothing I can do. There's always something.
It's always something. It's always something. You're right about that, Brandon.
Tell me, what do you see? Obviously things are kind of ramping up, with you guys. I would think, I was talking before, if I try to like align, and think ahead, it would seem, you've got Thanksgiving coming around the corner.
Yeah.
That, everybody wants everybody wants everything clean for Thanksgiving or the week before, but it's like, don't be that person that waits.
Don't be that person that waits. Actually, doing that, that's typically a very busy time for us. And for all, I would say, carpet cleaning or cleaning in general. With our system and our process, man, we actually have customers now that are actually on the books already for the Thanksgiving holidays. Just like most folks, well, how we typically handle that is they'll give us a call, want to get on the schedule the week before or a couple of days before Thanksgiving. And hey, we put them on a schedule. We give them a reminder, typically 72 hours, maybe 48 hours prior to the appointment. And we show up and, get to work and get it all cleaned up for having, family and friends over to and enjoying being together. So we try to take the stress and the thinking out of it. I would say, whether it's OxyFresh or anyone else, if you're looking for cleaning, get on the books now and forget about it. And for us, again, we make that process seamless. Our system that we have, try to make that simple for you. So we send you a text, an email, and we'll give you a courtesy call up to 3 days, 3 days prior to your appointment. And make it very easy. If you had to change it, we're very flexible, and we had to come a day earlier, and we'll fit you into the schedule. But I would say sometimes it can get so hectic, and there's not a lot of maneuverability that you have. So yeah, for the holidays, I mean, I know we're in July, but we should be thinking about Thanksgiving now, really.
Think ahead. That's the key to all of it. Take some of that stress out. Tell me, with business in general, how are you finding, you mentioned, it's not as many lunches, and I'm curious on what people are doing, guys like you, guys like me, I think we're natural, like just people, like we just like talking to people and just getting out there and, networking. And that's, I don't want to say gone, but it's not as, the conferences aren't there. The big lunch and learns, aren't there. A lot of that's, kind of gone away, and you're, kind of getting brought back down into, it's, talked to somebody the other day. They're like, man, I just live on LinkedIn all day, just trying to send in messages to people, trying to connect. Or are you feeling, missing out on some of that, just old fashioned networking and business?
Man, I agree. Naturally, like you said, both of us, we're in, I guess, two different types of businesses, but really to the core, it's relationship and people business.
Mhm.
So again, just being resourceful. LinkedIn. I'm making a lot more connections on LinkedIn.
Mhm.
Finding new prospects, connecting with old partners, old friends, and sometimes just communicating, just good old fashioned telephone. Um,
Mhm.
or some of the technologies like Zoom or FaceTiming and things of that nature. But it is a little it is different and a little more challenging because I'm sure you were brought up the same way I was as far as you meet someone, you do what you're going to say what you're going to do, shake them in the hand, shake the hand, and look them in the eye, those types of things. But
Mhm.
that's changing, and you have to adapt. So now, even if you are going to meet in person, you got to decide. Okay, hey, that pause. Are we going to shake hands? Or are we going to fist bump?
Yeah, I've heard the new. It's not. It's it went from shake to fist bump to the air bow is what I've been calling
Uh-huh.
it. So
So that's always like an awkward time right there. When traditionally, you're used to shaking at someone's hand, introducing yourself. Now it's the
I
elbow.
saw a business and I thought it was really an ingenious idea. I think I saw it on LinkedIn. They were a larger company, but they had when you walked into their office for all of their staff and everybody there, they had like red, the little Live Strong bracelets everybody used to
Yes,
have,
yes, yes.
they had like red ones, green ones, and yellow ones. And they had little signs for what each one meant. Like red was like I'm not comfortable, touching, and the other one, the yellow was like I'm okay, just with like a fist bump, and the
Uh-huh.
green was like I'm not worried about anything at all. And so you'd come into the office and you'd pick, and so you didn't have to say,
Yes.
necessarily kind of what you were. Everybody could look and be like, oh, that guy's, good. I can give him a high five,
Uh-huh.
what have you. It was just a neat way. And I'm like, how do we do that across the city so what line not to cross for
Yes.
somebody.
Some folks are, and you're not sure too, as far as you know, s- some folks may look perfectly healthy, but they may have underlying health issues that you just don't know about. So it's one of them things you don't want to cross the line or violate their space. So yeah, that sounds like a cool idea, man.
Well, I can tell you were talking about calling people on the phone. Something else that popped in my head was we were talking with a group, and this guy was talking about his team and how they were trying to get in touch with people, and they couldn't reach this customer, and they were like, well, I've emailed them, I've sent them a LinkedIn message, and they just went through all this stuff, and it was like, have you called them? Like, have you used like a real phone, like, and just made a phone call? And they're like, well, no, I didn't want to, bother them. It's like, I don't know how we shifted, kind of from a society, but that's the way, I grew up, and that's the way
Yeah.
I'd put deals together. You called people on the phone and it was more of a like, hey, can we come meet? Can I come talk to you? It was all about just kind of setting an appointment, to go
Yeah.
really get down to it. Now we're on Zoom, all this stuff, but too many people I think are forgetting about like, just get on the phone,
Just get on the
talk to
phone.
somebody.
Yeah. Hey, Brandon, how you doing? What's going on your end? And going from there. But nothing's wrong with a good old fashioned phone call.
And I
Um,
think people need to, and somebody gave me some advice, years ago, and I think it stands even more true now, is when you reach out to sometimes, just be real with people and just, talk to your network and, tell them like, hey, I need some help. I'm
yeah.
trying to drum up some business. Sometimes people don't know, and if you can give somebody or genuinely just ask for some help or hey, I'm trying to fill a schedule or I've got some open spots in our schedule in a month from now or I need to get some deals on the books, just telling people that will sometimes make people wait and go, they'll pause and they go, wait a minute, I know who you need to talk to.
Yes.
It's just asking for help,
And
and
it may
sometimes our
not be
pride
that
gets in the way.
person. It may be a friend of that person. Maybe 1, 2, 3 degrees from separation. Uh, but just putting it out there in the atmosphere, just asking for help. Yeah, and I think sometimes, as kind of going to asking for help, I think um, every business owner, entrepreneur, leader, anyone really, it's asking for help is really not a sign of weakness. It's really a sign of strength. And at some point, all of us need help in business, in personal, in whatever walk of life or whatever we're going through, or just asking for help. And really, honestly, asking for help, things can be going perfectly fine, but you can still need help to get to that next level. So it's just, I think sometimes when folks thinking like, you're asking for help, it's like you're in desperation mode or whatnot. But really asking for help can be you're at the top of your game, but you need help actually to be the best part of your game. So
Right.
I'm always asking for help. I'm always looking for ways to improve. And I learned that a long time young in my career, that always ask for help, and always also be willing to accept help. Sometimes you may not ask and it may just come to you on your doorsteps. And when that time comes, you have to be open-minded and just, and, sometimes we don't even know that we need help too.
Yeah, and I think that's what a lot of people are kind of running right now. People are adapting and pivoting and all these, buzz jargon words, that we're doing right now. When I think sometimes you just got to pause and, whether it be reach out to your existing customer base, and just say, hey, we need some help. People genuinely, I think I remember the founder of eBay when he was putting things, when he was putting the whole concept together, people were saying, wait a minute, you're going to have somebody buy something and then they're just going to ship it and then they're going to pay them. Like, what if they don't pay? What's going to happen? And I think the quote was something along the lines of, I genuinely believe if you give people the opportunity to do the right thing, they will. And he kind of built the model around that. And I think segue some of that, I think if you give people a chance to help or tell them that you need help, that they're going to want to try to help you. That's your existing customers. That's people in your, your LinkedIn connections, people want to help and they want to see people succeed. They just a lot of times don't know how. It's if you're looking to fill some time slots, and I see, man, Larry's crushing it. I see the vans running all over the place. He don't need anything from me. He's running when you might need some time slots filled, and just to be able to reach out and go, well, that's how I can help, or hey, I can help with some marketing, for him. But if you don't reach out and raise that hand, nobody knows what to do.
Yeah, I'm thinking about when you said eBay, it's like, man, I'm always on Amazon and eBay buying stuff, and goes to like the technology on when eBay started. Just kind of bring me to a conversation recently I had with I have a 11-year-old and a 5-year-old, and I was thinking about it. It's like, okay, when I first started college, I don't. That's when I first got my email address. And right now, he's been having email addresses, I don't know, what, first grade. Then to step one up, maybe second grade or so. And I'm thinking, here I am starting college. And I was like, an email address, what's that?
That's
It's weird how times have changed.
I was looking at my eBay account the other day. I ordered something and it was like member since the year 2000. I'm like, I've been buying stuff from these people for 20 years. I'm like,
Yeah.
good night, and I saw a cartoon that was like a little sketch, and it was like a parent, and they were giving a puppy to their kids, and they were saying, well, what do you want to name him? And they were trying to think, and it showed a couple of frames of thinking, and then the parent goes, well, make sure you make the right decision. This will be part of your password for the rest of your life.
Oh, really?
So, but no, I think that's what you're talking about there with kids is, they've grown up in it. I think it's next year or maybe it's like 2 or 3 years that they're in the next 2 or 3 years, every single person entering the workforce never knew life without an iPhone. Like their entire life, it's like if you do the math, I looked it up a while back. Every 2 or 3 years, or in 2 or 3 years, it's every single person. Like they don't know what those old Nokia phones, that were like bricks, and they don't know the flip phones and the bag phones and, all that stuff. They're used to that technology. It's attached at the hand, and we have to adapt, as business owners. And like, I talked to somebody, we were talking, in the world, we move a lot of documents, and, you and I are about the same age. It's like we used to I used to have to call you or tell you, like, hey, can you email me that Excel file, or can
Yes.
you send me, that Word doc, and we'd send it to you and you'd update. And we used to always have, it's like, okay, who's got the latest version? And, every file ended with the word final, at the end of it. So you knew which was the right one. But now it's Google Docs, it's Google Sheets,
Yes.
it's, Office, documents. If you brought in and hired somebody to come into your office these days, or if you had your team and was like, hey, you can only see your schedules on paper, and if you needed something to change, you're gonna have to call or come back to the office. People would, they're not one that you have to adapt as business owners. So that's what the kids are expecting, when they jump in here. So, and with that, jumping, tie that back to what we were talking about on your kind of stuff. You were talking about, getting a year out, on scheduling, because y'all got the system, the recurring, kind of treatment. You guys can set that up for everybody, right?
Yes. Yes, we can.
So look, I think, at the end of the day, I think the biggest thing for me, with what you talked about, was the drying on the carpets.
Yes.
That it's not the floor is lava for 24, 48 hours. We're having to bounce all over the place, trying to put it together. With that, now's the time, people can reach out to you guys. How are they going to find you? At the end of the day, what's the best number for you?
Fairly simple. Actually, if you also don't even want to talk to me and listen to my voice, which, okay, you can find us www.oxyfresh.com. That's OXIFresh.com. You can actually book an appointment without speaking with anyone. Use any promo codes that you may see out there as well. Or you can call 225-963-5200. And you get to speak with a live person. If it's something you want to go over again. Oxyfresh.com, that's Oxy, OXI, fresh.com, or 225-963-5200. And of course, we on social media, Facebook, if you or you can actually Google us. Pretty much if you can find us.
Yeah. Online, we've adapted, right?
Yeah, we've adapted.
So, well, look, Larry, I appreciate you spending time with us today, kind of telling us what you guys do and how it works and just kind of where you are in business and, kind of those kind of things. I think everybody appreciates, hearing from somebody else that's in the, in the weeds with them. So,
guess what, Brandon, thank you very much for the time. I think this is a great thing you have going. Keep it up. And of course, best of luck and all good things to your way. Okay.
I appreciate it, sir. You have a great day.
All right. Have a great day, man. Bye-bye.